Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm Comedy Cache numero 12. I think
12.
it's Dose.
12.
My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm. Joining us,
Andy Imlay.
Aaron Wade.
And Dustin Matteson.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Doing good? Doing good? Andy?
Good.
Andy, you doing okay over there?
Yeah.
well, A-Rod got a blowjob as soon as he got here.
Fuck, yeah, dude.
You
Andy got me wet.
Hey, I do what I can.
Right in the back seat of his car.
right. The backseat of Andy's car, I believe.
Dude, honestly, and it was in a kid's seat, wasn't it? Or like a little kiddie seat? Maybe?
Oh, it's where my kid's seat was. That's
Oh,
why
okay. Okay. Yeah.
she's just an animal back there.
It was a thrilling way to start our introduction to Aaron. So at the moment he walked in, he was like, man, I need a blow dryer. And I was like, sick, dude. I was like, sick, dude. Let me hook it up.
It was the cheapest one I had. It was pretty good.
No, it worked out, brother. So you're all dried up. You guys having a good Sunday? Yeah.
That's been pretty good, man.
And I guess our listeners don't know much about A-Rod here. We should probably... Aaron.
Yeah.
We should probably get an update of, like, where you come from.
Yeah.
Like, are you from around here?
I'm
from
originally
Texas?
from Plainville, Indiana.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So we're about an hour and 15 minutes from Evansville, north. I moved to Washington, Indiana, to get closer to my job and move jobs. Now
There's a lot of Amish around there.
Yeah, in Plainville. Yeah,
God love him.
yeah, real close to Ragglesville.
Ragglesville?
Yes. Yeah.
That just sounds made up.
Right. What the fuck do they do in Ragglesville?
Yeah, it was total Amish country out
What's a
Ragglesville.
raggle?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, you know, somebody's last name was Raggle, and it's like, is there, like, does that come, what's to raggle? What does raggling mean?
All I know about Ragglesville is that there is a car shop down there that when my mom's car last year, when it broke down, it ended up there because the cops called. They towed it.
Sick, dude. Hey, up in Ragglesville, isn't that where they got that bird farm at? They got that turkey farm up there, don't they? Isn't that Ragglesville? Isn't that where
They got quite a few
Okay,
turkeys
so
out there.
they were probably just mason workers.
raggling, quote, raggling refers to the process of cutting a groove or slot, especially in masonry, to create a raggle. Raggling. There you go, folks. You heard it here on the Days Grimm. Smarter every day, Tom. Smarter every day.
It's funny you mentioned the birds. I work at a turkey factory.
That's what I knew. There was one up there near Washington. Is that where you're at?
I used to work at Purdue, and now I'm at a in Vincennes.
Okay. Nice,
So-
dude. Sick.
A turkey factory.
Yeah.
They make turkeys, dude.
Yeah, I would. We'll just. You know what? For the start of this
We
episode,
kill-
I want you
we
to
kill it.
describe
Yeah.
this process. You know, is it full circle of life from egg to chicken to murder to defeathered?
Dude, my sister worked out there for a little bit. She told me nightmare stories. So she was on like the. Should we not talk about this?
Do you think like turkeys were like an Indian pocket pussy?
It's really only a nightmare. It's really only a nightmare for the birds. The humans go home alive.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's definitely a slaughterhouse type situation.
Well, and every Thanksgiving, I'm sure they send you home with a turkey.
Oh, do they? Do you get like a free bird on your birthday or something?
They give us a chicken.
A chicken.
They give us
Not even a turkey.
they on the holidays they give us a fully like a 3-pound chicken and a 3-pound ham that's
Damn.
cut up, already ready,
On the
pre-cooked.
holiday?
Yeah,
Nice.
Oh, sick, dude.
Christmas we'll have
I'm
dinners.
trying to work out there. Y'all hiring?
Just swing the mic
We
in
are
just a
hiring.
little bit.
Yes.
You are hiring?
Yes.
All right, you heard it here, folks. What's the name of the joint again?
Do what?
What's the name of the place again? Check it out.
You're gonna have to mute that probably.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, we mute that. We mute that.
Yeah. With what we're talking about next.
You're not wrong. Yeah, I didn't put two and two together.
About what? Here, you want to grab it? Or well, is it a good?
Yeah, it's actually When I just turned 18, I had a buddy of mine named Matt. At the time, this was over, not at the Vincent's, but at Jasper or Huntingburg. And out there was also next to the highway is a strip club that's no longer around, but also right next to one of those.
The one right off the highway, right?
Yeah, right off Interstate 64.
That connects the two. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So at that time, this was again 18. I'm 37. This was like almost 20 years ago. We're out there, and we needed to know where the Farbust was. We didn't know where it was, and we didn't really have a way of Googling it at the time. And so I was like, so my mom knows, like, where's your mom work? She works over at the strip club and the adult bookstore. I'm like, wait,
nice.
What? It's like, yeah, she
Nice.
she works in the adult bookstore. I was like, okay. And it's like, we go out there, and I'm 18.
Is this your first sex store experience?
Yes, totally. And I go in there, and I am like, you know what? I'm probably going to be weirded out by everything, so I'm just going to go over and stare at sodas, and I'm looking through there, and it's like, okay, Pepsi.
It's like dick flavored soda.
Oh yeah, but then my view.
That's his favorite. You didn't know?
My view migrates. This is when I was confused. I didn't know I was gay.
Gotcha.
But I migrated my view over to the freezer section.
He did after
and
that
then
experience.
They had like strawberry pussies and chocolate dicks.
Hell yeah.
Vanilla, the banana split dick on a stick. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn away now. And then I look over, and they have an employee who is setting up a display. It's a 3-foot tall inflated penis. I will say this: it inflated up just like one of those punch clowns in a 3-year-old's bedroom. You know, go boom.
Circumcised or not? Because it matters.
I don't know. I was kicking it, and I just was like, I turned into a little kid again. I was like, boom. There I am, a grown man kicking a giant dick.
Speaking of kicking dicks, when was the moment you realized you were gay? Was it after this moment? After this day?
I knew I was gay before, but then at one point, my family and everyone's like, "You're confused. Don't worry, you're not gay." I was like, "Okay," and I just believed him at that. I was gullible.
Catholics, they prayed over you a lot.
But then later in life, I was realized it's like, no, I am gay. And then my mom goes like, "What did it take you how long did it take you to realize that?"
Dude, we were talking, or maybe I was talking to a gay man not too long ago. And I thought it was funny because, like, they weren't totally gay, but, like, they came off as, like, totally gay. But they were like, yeah, there's, like, hot girls, too. Do you find that? This is taking a weird side journey, but I'm just...
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
all right, what are you
curious.
trying to do here?
I'm just curious,
Convert the
dude.
man?
Do you-
You trying to
Do you ever
revert him
find a
back
woman
to-
attractive, ever?
We're on a side quest.
Yeah. We're just doing side journeys
Well, honestly, there's women I find attractive, but not in a sense of like, I'd want to pursue them as like a mate or a sexual partner.
I got
My
you.
view of it is their personality or something about them makes me want to just say, you know what, I will walk to the ends of the earth with that person and be like, I'll be their support because I like they're someone I could jive with and be like, okay, we're going drinking.
That's sick, dude. I like that. All right, sorry for that side quest. Also, I can't think properly because I got a cramp in my right foot so
Yeah,
bad right
you're,
now, dude.
like, even
I'm
more
fighting for my
autistic
life
than
over
normal.
here, dude. Yeah. Anyways, all
I
right,
swear, every time I'm on this show, you got a problem with your legs.
Yeah, they're broken,
damn,
bro.
bro.
They're broken. I'm slowly turning into you, I think.
Call me.
But anyway,
the
hang
first time
We'll get
you and
matching
Brian met, you
wheelchairs.
said it wasn't contagious, and every time you've come on since.
it's worse. Every time I see you, my feet hurt worse.
It's like leprosy. He just keeps getting.
dude, I swear to God. All right, so anyway, let's get this show back on the road. So the
Well,
comic-
dude, speaking of leprosy, I watched. Have you
Speaking
ever,
of the
have you
lepers.
seen Kingdom of Heaven? Fire movie, but I don't know why I randomly mentioned that. But my point, I texted Brian this week, and I was like, I think koalas. Well, I really. If we were to minimize this and go over to the reels of the Days Grimm Instagram, which is basically my Instagram, every other reel's like a monkey. I fucking love monkeys.
Yeah, monkeys
But
are
I
dope.
was thinking koalas are just the frat boys of nature. Their main source of food, the eucalyptus, gets them just fucked up and they sleep all day. So,
yeah.
like frat boys just drink and do drugs all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all have chlamydia also.
Oh yeah, and then they also, give their young their own feces in order to get them able to eat the eucalyptus first.
I don't know if frat boys do that, though.
Well, it depends.
I'm sure a frat boy makes his homie eat shit, though.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, for what do they call it? The initiations, dude?
Hazing.
The hazings, dude? For sure somebody has eaten a turd, dude.
People in Australia don't call them koala bears. They call them murder bears.
Murder bears?
Yeah,
Why?
they're actually very, very aggressive.
Really?
Yeah,
When they're
Oh,
not
yeah.
high, maybe?
I guess. I got a friend with CP that's like killer on the drums.
Hell yeah.
And so, like, we'll talk every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, koalas are kind of cute. And he goes, not over here, mate. He goes, they'll straight up drop out of the sky like a paratrooper and murder you.
82nd Airborne your ass, dude. Just straight up.
You're going down, mate. You're going down.
Kind of like that scene in Elf when he thought the raccoon needed a hug, you know?
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly like that, except it's a
Ferocious
koala.
little creatures, dude. You got to take on these koala bros.
Have you ever seen a wet koala? I got a picture of it. It's a
Are
nightmare.
we just referencing more things that are in your pants because they're wet? What's happening?
Maybe wearing the same underwear that Jackie Chan was in that First Strike.
Have you ever seen a wet koala? He just pulls
I got a
one
picture
out.
of it.
Yeah. No, really though. Oh, you have a picture of
Yeah,
a
I got a
wet
picture
koala?
of it.
Pull it up.
It was on the internet, and I'll never look at a koala the same again.
So I don't know, when do koala bears get? Actually, we might be able to just pull up a wet koala if you could, dude. Look up Google
You're
search
going to have
wet.
the FBI knocking on your door.
Koala.
Oh, dude, no. Hey, we found out last week you can fuck animals in West Virginia.
See, tell me
big
that picture right there doesn't look like a murder bear.
You know what's
The one next
crazy?
to it, yeah.
Crikey.
You know what's crazy is in West Virginia you can fuck this koala.
What?
Remember we looked that up.
Oh yeah, West Virginia is
Yeah,
one of
that-
the only states in America where it is still okay to fuck animals. I don't know why, but
I
it is
guess
okay.
that checks because that totally looks like my cousin.
Yeah, that tracks, dude. That tracks. Shout out to your cousin, man. Lord have mercy.
Did
on
you
him.
see the woolly mice?
Oh my God! Did you see that guy? Are you talking about the dude from Rogan?
I'll pull it
Holy
up. Yeah,
fuck, dude! So they're bringing back extinct animals now. You hear about this?
yeah, my wife told me about that.
Yeah, they brought back a dire wolf.
Yeah.
They have 3 or 4 of them now. But anyways, while they were doing that, they went on this little side quest, kind of like we did earlier. But they took the genome for woolly mammoths that like give them their coat, their fur, and they embedded that genome into mice genetics, and then they bred these mice, and so these mice have essentially the same fur that a woolly mammoth would have had 1.5 million years ago. Look at this cute little bastard. Zoom in on it. Make it real big.
Well, I was
dude.
gonna
Maybe
say they
that'll-
have
maybe-
one.
Considering that they're going to do that with, woolly mammoths, maybe they'll give you hope for your hair.
Yeah, dude. I'm thinking optimistically. I could have a full head of hair in like 3 to 12 years.
This is the
So,
image of the mouse. Like if like normal mouse hair with
Yeah.
then this is with the woolly gene.
It really
Kind of
just,
looks like if a mouse was bred with Chris Farley's genetics.
or like if a mouse fucked a gerbil.
I kind of feel like that mouse would look cool with a mullet, you know?
For sure, just shave
Yeah.
everything down
Yeah.
except
Like with
for
a
the
mane?
Yeah.
Except for the mullet, yeah.
Dude, that'd be fucking.
I feel like my
sick.
barber, Nick Biggs, could pull that off, you know?
And
Yeah,
they do
mix
all
the
this.
goat.
They
Yeah.
do all this with AI. The
Yeah.
sequencing, right? So they do all of the. So they get the raw material samples or whatever from like ice cores or whatever. However they get the samples, and they collect hundreds of samples, and then they use AI to like piece together because they're not always perfect full samples. So you don't get a perfect. Anyways, so they use AI to take all these hundreds of samples, and they finally make one full gene. And that's how they're bringing these fucking dire wolves back, dude. It's fucking crazy.
I'm just waiting for them to see a mouse the size of a freaking car.
Dude, yeah,
We're not out of the woods yet, folks. We're not out of the woods yet.
It'd be like that scene in Nutty Professor 2. A giant gerbil going in there.
Size of a fucking Volkswagen.
Yeah, and if someone's caught with a fur coat, he's like, I'm not that kind of guy.
Can you imagine what the mousetrap would look like for some big son of a bitch like
Jesus
that?
Christ, you just have to nuke it.
You couldn't,
AI
you couldn't
drones.
Put, you couldn't put the right,
Hey,
and you
good
couldn't put a
segue.
comparable size of
AI
cheese on
cats.
it. If you had
Just put a saddle on it and ride it into war, you know?
if you
Right.
had a mouse trap for a mouse that size, you could not put realistically a piece of cheese that would compare to it, because then you would have little fat kids like me going over getting caught in it.
Yeah, that checks out.
They actually do have the world's biggest mousetrap in Illinois. I've actually seen it.
How big is this thing?
It's probably as big as, about as tall up and down as this house.
God dang, boy. That's a little excessive.
And they also have the world's biggest cheese there.
That's
so
not
I
even a
think they
mouse
can
trap
put one on
anymore.
there.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
fucking
I mean-
grizzly bear trap, dude.
That's like
Yeah.
like you're trapped in with Tom and Jerry were
Yeah, this is what Arnold Schwarzenegger used to fucking work out before.
Yeah, they had the mailbox. I was in that mailbox.
Oh my
That was the only time I got it. The second time I got
Illinois
delivered.
is such shit that they're just building the biggest shit.
Can you-
It's tourist attraction.
Brian, since you work out a lot, can you guess what muscle group they use to train with this device?
Well, it would depend on two factors: are you pushing or pulling? So if you're setting the trap, you're going to be using a lot of your latissimus dorsi. Or if you're trying to release the trap from off of you, then you'd be using a lot of pectoral and deltoid muscles.
I'm just working on my traps and the mouse trap. You know what I'm saying?
Or your traps, yeah, dude. Bees in the
Dude,
trap.
There's a fucking there's a new internet game that's like big right now called Schedule One, and then you're just like doing degenerate stuff like growing your drugs and whatever. And I hopped in like a voice chat. My buddy and like his girlfriend were in there. And I just, babe, you're bagging the weed up all wrong, and you're cutting the coke wrong. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you selling drugs now? And he's like, no, we're playing a game. I'm like,
Did you hear about the guy on the interstate they found with the van, and he had trash bags full of weed?
No.
They caught this dude with 800 pounds of marijuana.
Let's not make it
in
a
a
crime.
minivan.
Yeah,
Let's not make it a crime anymore, folks. Y'all got to settle down on this marijuana.
800 worth $1 million on the street. They said.
Sheesh.
And if that thing caught on fire, people would be chasing after it like it's the ice cream man.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
dude.
instead of little kids, it'd be like
That's the
guys
Up in
like
Smoke sequel right there.
You'd have a bunch of Toms out there, dude, just chasing you down. I want to come back to the AI, though, the sequencing for the DNA, because I thought, so the little bit that I brought today was the military has now successfully trialed AI drones. This is terrifying for two reasons. One, because an AI drone means that there is no one flying this fucking giant 6 million pound fucking basically small airplane.
Skynet.
Fucking terrifying, first off. Secondly, terrifying because it is now making ethical decisions on what to and what not to kill. And then third of all, there is a program built within the AI to combat future AI aerial predators, like other aerial AI drones that may try to take it down. So now the question to me is like, what if this drone just like takes off and then like gets confused, finds out that it's actually AI, becomes cognizant, and blows itself up? So it becomes like a giant kamikaze pilot, like AI kamikaze. I'm terrified, but also fucking super intrigued. Thoughts?
I was.
That's a lot to take in, but
It's
this
not-
is a real thing. This is a real fucking story. The U.S. military is
I believe
trialing.
there's a movie franchise that's been in production since the 80s.
It really is.
Most
Yeah.
noticeable for having a former California governor in it.
Yeah, Skynet, dude. It's a real thing. It's fucking terrifying.
Got to get out of here.
What are your thoughts on that?
The
AI
drones are gonna
kamikaze.
take us out.
Well, not even kamikaze. I mean, like EMP goes off and all that shit falls.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be AI. If an EMP goes off, everything in the air is going to fall out of the
But
sky.
you know what I think is like what's crazy is like they can make it rain, right? That they've been able to make the weather rain since Vietnam, like since the war in Vietnam.
Dude, what conspiracy theory tree have you been fucking crawling into?
Dude, China
What are you
said that
talking
shit.
about, dude?
China said they could make it rain in Vietnam back when we were in Nam.
All right.
But like, I'm just saying, like all these tornadoes that come through here, like you can't divert that shit.
Yeah, they're going to make it rain when those tariffs go in place, let me tell you.
Dude, it's dicey, man. I think AI drones is a really, really unique idea, but I think it's also a poor idea. I think there's something funnier to be said about a drone choosing what to and what not to
I thought you
kill.
just meant that like the drone realizes it's AI and it just kills itself.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
Like
That's what I
like
meant.
the world's so bad that the drone's just like I don't want to live.
I'm fucking out.
Another season of the Kardashians.
I didn't ask for this. Boom.
Or what if AI drones start to try to kill us? That's my fear.
Dude, hey, ladies and gentlemen, get your go bags ready. We're going to the woods.
I just don't like AI. I think we depend too much on it.
It's scary as shit, dude. Andy was just bragging about using AI a minute ago. He was like, I forget what you said. You use Chat GPT for something.
I usually have it help me write
For,
emails.
Yeah, but
A
with
nickname.
AI,
Yeah.
Andy will be able to walk again.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro. Now I'm pro AI. Let's make this shit happen.
I got too many benefits
You
right
won't-
now. You think I'm gonna give that up?
Have you seen my parking space, bro?
Have you seen my act? I would basically have no jokes. Be like every other basic white guy out there.
Dude, what if you got AI legs and you just went up there and was just like 111000111? Like you just started reading computer code.
Oh yeah, that or someone puts in their program for you to do a can. You know what I mean? Da, 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 da.
The only thing I can think of is Oscar Pistorius with the blade legs ended up murdering his girlfriend. You know?
Oh fuck! I don't know about that.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, he was like a huge, like he was an Olympic.
Did he just roundhouse kick her? And
no, he shot her.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
we didn't even use the legs. I instantly went to like he's using his legs like just like a full on. I mean, it could have just been the fact I watched the fights last night, but
Yeah, shout out. Yeah.
No, dude, I think another point I had here too is like you know how the hot chick in the group gets all the drinks bought for.
We've talked about this.
Not on.
I believe so.
Have we?
Russian roulette. Is that where we're going?
Yeah, like roofie roulette.
Hell yeah.
Because like all these guys are buying the hot chick drinks, and then like she's busy, so she gives some of the drinks to her friends, and they're just playing roofie roulette.
So that's why everyone asks me to wear a wig when I go out with them.
Hey man, I don't know. I think that's a fun game that you could play at your local bar scene. Just take your favorite hot friend that's a female, and then get like 4 dudes around her, and then let's just see.
Yeah,
who
just get the
fucking
hot
makes
chick.
it.
The hot chick gets all the drinks and takes them back to the table.
Yeah.
And then goes back and baits somebody for another drink.
I like that.
Isn't that like a Rob Schneider movie?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, Hot Chick is a Rob Schneider movie.
Hot Chick is a Rob Schneider movie,
But not roofie roulette.
That's when he like changes bodies.
That's probably the sequel. You know.
Yeah, where they start roofie roulette and everybody. Yeah,
The
dude.
thing
fuck
is, though,
yeah.
he gets reincarnated as a roofie.
Hell yeah, dude.
when Rogan asked the guy doing the gene stuff, they were talking about how they can clone dogs.
Yeah.
So like this guy was like, I've successfully cloned like this one guy's dog, and they were saying the dog has it's like a different personality than the original dog, but it looks exactly the same, but it goes and lays in all the same weird random spots that dog laid in.
So fucking weird.
But Rogan was like, what if your like reincarnation's real and you just stop that dog in that process? Like that dog's about to reincarnate into some like super smart Chinese kid, you know, and have a great life.
Yeah.
And you just like, no, guess what?
Repeat.
You're a golden retriever again.
Rinse. Repeat.
That reminds me of the Multiplicity movie in the 90s. Anybody see that?
I know the name. I've not seen it. Is it good?
It is hilarious.
Oh, it's a funny film?
Oh, yeah.
Multiplicity. You know what we're talking about?
What was his name?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Batman. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to... What's this multiplicity nonsense about?
Guy gets himself cloned.
Multiple times.
And his clones sleep with his wife, which we're told not to.
Yeah.
She couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah, 1996. Yeah.
They were all really good in bed, though.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh, this guy was in Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is Jack Frost.
Yeah.
He also
be
played...
careful. There's 2 versions of that movie. One's a horror movie called Jack Frost.
Oh, yeah, the horror movie one. Not great.
Horror movie
No.
or like porno?
No.
no.
Horror.
That'd be interesting. It's like
H with an H, not a W.
I only know the W.
A Jack Frost porno would probably be like, you know, Jack Frost is not nipping at your nose.
I figured it was more like a facial situation.
No.
It's like, you want my carrot?
Yeah, exactly. Jack Frost's nose is going somewhere where it probably should not go. That's my
You
thought.
have a VPN, we can look.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to get real dark real fast, folks.
He does that so you can look up
Folks, we're
Pornhub.
going to pause this entertaining session while we all look at something that could get us arrested.
Adult content.
Dude, I remember there was one time like when you're like 19 and you're like partying and like people would just put on like we would show up like and have like the most fucked up porn you could find like on the TV like a dude in like a panda outfit with a dildo strapped on and like hot chicks just like fucking this panda.
That's
or
fucking
like
hot, dude.
cake farting where it's just like this lady that sits on a cake
That's
and
old
farts.
news. That's old news. Cake farting is so old, bro. Have you seen clown porn recently, dude?
No.
Shit is getting fucking bonkers, bro. These,
Yeah,
dude,
those
bro.
Terrifier movies are blowing up, man.
bro, clown porn has got, and then not anime porn. What do you call it when the young ladies dress up as
Hentai?
superheroes?
Cosplay.
Cosplay. The cosplay porn's getting huge. Clown porn's getting huge.
Dude, I saw a little kid at the playground today that was like pre-furry.
I did not.
Pre-furry.
Yeah, dog. Just
Did he have
already wearing face mask and walking around with their hands up like this. Pre-furry.
Did he have a litter box with him and everything?
No.
I didn't know they were doing cosplay.
I think the
porn. Does that
mom
mean I get
was
to see
carrying
He-Man
a
and
poop
Lion-O in the
bag
same
thing.
Picture?
Yeah. Dude, I could see He-Man just throwing it down, bro. Seriously. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's my thought on AI drones. I think it's terrifying. That's it. That's all I got. I didn't bring much more to the table.
Yeah.
That went in more directions than my first marriage.
For sure, dude. That's how these episodes go. They're not orchestrated very well at all. So, you got a bit. Did you bring a bit today, or something you want to talk about, or we kind of opened with his? Do we want to go to Aaron? You want to switch to Aaron?
No. Did we open with this?
Yeah.
Mentioned the story of the strip club
Yeah.
Strip clubs.
kicking around a.
Yeah. Which you don't remember if it was circumcised or not, which I find concerning.
Most of the inflatable ones are circumcised.
I would
will
say
say it was entertaining, and
a valid
then
point.
they brought out the female version, and it was kind of funny because the penis one, when it inflated, it was like.
Yeah.
This is the female version.
It just goes.
Unfold.
It goes
I wanna-
horizontally.
And honestly, I tried to kick it like the penis one, but instead my foot got caught in it, and there I am, a grown man hopping on one foot with a giant vagina clamped onto my leg, going, "It's too big, it won't come out."
Jesus. God,
I think they just call those like inflatable hammocks.
for the most part, yeah, you just chilling.
That'd be actually kind of nice.
a vagina hammock.
Like a ball
raft.
hammock?
You could, like a pool hammock. That'd be, I need one of those.
We should do that for the float trip this year. We should get
Buy a
dicks
giant
and
inflatable
vaginas.
vagina.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. All right, anyways, I digress.
Something,
Ron, what-
something
taco
he
party.
said just sparked my memory. Was at Evansville Mall. We love that place, and Eastland Mall. And
You really are Amish.
Yeah.
He's like, I love them all, man.
Yeah. You ever been to one of these malls?
They opened up this new store called Boba Balls.
Boba
It's
Balls.
where,
Boba tea.
Yeah, it's where you get all kinds of milkshakes, teas, and they had the Boba Balls in there.
Okay.
Well, my wife and I was at Spencer's, and we was sucking on these drinks. And they have these big straws that are really big because the Boba Balls are pretty big. You got to get them.
And they
the
go up
straw
in
is-
there.
The straw is big enough so that ball can shoot up in your mouth. And all the ice in the cup was trapping the balls, and I wasn't thinking. I looked at my wife in the middle of Spencer's, and I yelled, "It don't matter how hard I suck, I can't get my balls up."
All right.
What a great.
God, that's fucking disgusting.
I can't believe I brought these guys over here.
This is your fault, Andy.
Yeah.
No, dude, I think there's a certain kind of sociopathy that it requires to drink boba tea. I don't. What do you think?
No, I'm just.
Who do you know that drinks boba tea just on the fly?
Nobody, but I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking that this is terrible of me. As the Mennonite of the Amish group, what are the other Amish people with you think when you're in Spencer's? You know?
Did you tell the commune about your adventures, or did you?
Dude, it's funny too.
No.
No, but yeah, I'm sure you got a lot of great looks on that. Spencer's has
I-
changed over the years.
I stand very firmly on the fact, and this is no shade towards you, Aaron. I think you do have to be mentally unstable to drink boba tea, and I stand firmly on that. I say that because my sister-in-law, who's like 10 years younger than me, she drinks boba tea like on the reg. Oh, you're a fan?
I agree.
Oh, you agree. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. This is going to be what I run for office on. But anyway, seriously.
Really?
Yeah, but like it's strange that you're drinking a liquid, but then there's a solid in there that has to go through this. Like, what the fuck is wrong? And then like she'll drink it just like Monday through Friday. Like it's totally normal. I'm like, dude, choose. Like, do you want a solid or a liquid? Choose. Like, make a decision.
I think it would make sense if it were like a coffee and they were like caramel bobas or something, and you could like, or like something along
They
those
have
lines.
the caramel Bobals in there.
What the fuck is happening?
I never really was. I wasn't a fan of it, but
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So you check out. You're still safe as far as like mentally. All right, good.
I
Yeah.
think it's the
I don't
equivalent
like
of
any
those
kind of
people
balls in my
that
mouth.
Had the camel crushes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
want
guys have
half a
menthol
normal, and
Bobas?
then I want menthol to finish it off. You know,
That's
I
kinda-
want to smoke a cigarette, and then the last two hits just feel like I brushed my teeth.
Yeah, inhaled fiberglass. That's what I want to feel like, dude. God, those were
Hell yeah.
fucking awful. Andy, what are you bringing to the table, sir? What you got? You got a bit or a story or something that you want to talk about or that you want to workshop?
I remember when I was in college, man, in the late 90s, and like people were smoking menthols if they had a bad cold. This is going to clear my chest cold.
It's like
if I
Vicks
smoke
Vapor
this
Rub.
menthol. And,
It's like, no, dude, you're actually killing yourself.
No, man, that's, it's like people with these vapes and these vape clouds, man.
Hey, easy, dude.
Let me see how big I can make my cloud. It's like, okay, bro, I'll see you in the ER in a couple of years.
Dude,
Can't
Andy,
breathe.
what if you did a cameo for parents where you just like they paid you and you told their kids like if you smoke cigarettes, this is what happens to you. If you don't eat your vegetables, this is what happens to you.
Actually, my mom smoked when she was pregnant with me. That's probably what happened. I wonder why I got all giddy when my dad used to get those Marlboro points.
I was just thinking of that.
The Marlboro Miles?
Oh, yeah, dude. You get the gym bag. You get
And the jacket,
the
because
leather
you were going to
jacket.
need the jacket
Yeah,
when
you're gonna need the
when you
jacket.
got emphysema and you were all cold and shit
Shivering
next to your
and shit.
oxygen tank, you know?
Got to learn how to talk with the missing voice box.
Is that why I'm so cold all the time? I started smoking young. Shit.
Dude, that's actually a really good idea. You should start a cameo and just like have parents pay you to like send videos to their kids. I
This
think
is what happens
that's
if you have
genius.
premarital sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
This is what happens when you have a Republican.
This is what happens when Uncle Gary invites you into a room unsolicited, and I don't know.
no, but I think we did have a funny little thing going here of like alternate timeline movies.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Because somebody said you were making fun of our shoebox recording studio. You said it was up in the attic.
Yeah.
And I just attributed this to your bitterness of not being able to go up there.
I went up there once, and it
Yeah.
was the most awful time I've
Yeah, it
ever
was
had
not
on my
good, dude.
knees. You know what I mean?
But it was cool once we got up there.
Yeah.
So you had some good times on your knees, huh?
Well, you know what, Dustin?
No, but
I'm
like,
sure you have.
you were ragging on it, and you said it's in the attic. You were telling Aaron it's in the attic,
Yeah.
like where Anne Frank used to hide from. And then you said hide from the Jews.
Right? My
then I
my
was
brain
like,
just went all stupid for
Yeah.
a minute.
And
you
then
know?
I was thinking of alternate timelines of like Nazi Jews hunting Germans.
Yeah. What if that was the case? What if, dude, in an alternative universe somewhere, Nazis existed. They were like a legitimate political party, but then the Jews rose up and fucking schwacked all of them, dude. And just murdered all the Nazis, like in camps and like, wouldn't that be fucking? That'd
Yeah, Israel's just in Germany.
be, yeah, dude, that'd be fucking nice.
I feel like
That'd be
that's
nice.
that was the whole premise behind the first-person shooter Wolfenstein back in the day.
Oh,
Dude,
you
what if they just swapped land afterwards and Germany had to go to Jerusalem?
They're switching sides like in a dodgeball game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, what if wars had like away and home games? Dude, I don't know why I just thought of that.
Yeah, this weekend you try to invade us. Next weekend we try to invade you.
I heard
Ready?
next week Ukraine's traveling to Russia. It's going to be a real knockdown drag out.
Like every country has coliseums. They just
I don't know who's on the
Their seals
who's
versus
on the
their
injured
seals.
list this week. Let's look at that, Bob. Who do we got?
it's like Hunger Games Stadium Arena war
I go as
zones.
tribute to lose weight.
Everybody's downloading 100 gigabyte data stream packages just to get all the cameras.
I swear to God, dude, that's such
This new Warzone map just dropped in China. Takes place on the eastern front of the Great
That's
Wall.
such a fun idea, though, dude. Think about World War II.
yeah,
like
coin flip for the high ground.
That's a fun idea, though. Like, if you agree to go to war with another country, you have to be like, all right, this weekend, our place. Next weekend, your place.
Dude, just fucking England versus the U.S. and it's just a colonial era style muskets.
They're in columns, dude. Just fucking reloading their shitty muskets.
Hell yeah, that's what I hope we can do with. That's
fuck.
what we were talking about. Like, so like. Braden, my son, was like, "Oh wait, I can't wait for them to bring back dinosaurs." And I'm like, "Dude, I hope they bring back Neanderthals and we can have an actual slave workforce again."
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Shit.
saying?
Yeah, dude. I am pro enslaving the Neanderthals.
Right.
Whatever homo the opposite
Those
of us.
cavemen are going to be pissed about the Geico commercials. You know?
Or just like I'm cool if we clone people and then we do real life Civil War reenactment with clones.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be cool.
Dude, think about this though. Back
Coliseum fights of clones.
Bring back Custer's Last Stand. We kind of want to see that, done over again.
Dude, fuck yeah, bring back the Alamo. Hey, think about this though. If you could do like this genetic sequencing, and like you made the joke earlier, this dog was getting ready to reincarnate and go on to the next life or whatever and do whatever's after death, but you brought it back as nope, you're just a lab again. Would you, given the option, if you could genetically sequence yourself and then just be born again when you die, be born again and just live your same fucking shitty body again, would you do that all over again, or would you just rather die?
Probably rather die.
Yeah, me too.
Would I still be handicapped the second time around?
Answer, yeah, likely.
No, CRISPR.
Yeah,
they're genetically modifying you anyway.
Dude, we'll get you a brand new set of legs, bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it'll be like in a Family Guy, where there's like, which one is it? It's like, well, we gotta look for one that's just not hilarious.
Yeah. You might lose some of your personality, but you're gonna have the same body and the same weird toenails and whatever.
You're really gonna love hiking.
Yeah.
Because that's what all the white people do when it gets real warm outside. Hey, man, let's go hiking.
Let's go for a hike.
Yeah, let's go find a body.
Okay, that's how every horror movie starts ever, dude. I don't know. I'm really glad I thought of what if wars had away and home games, dude. That's such a good idea, dude.
now my side quest is thinking if we got Andy a motorized chair and where he was able to like till a garden with it, like tractor attachments for motorized
dude,
chairs.
have a plow attached to the back of it, dude.
Have you seen national parks where you can actually rent these rip chairs, like these all-terrain chairs in national parks, and go like hiking in your chair?
I've not seen this.
There's a
It's pretty
video
cool.
online where actually it happened in Indiana. Guy's on a mountain bike trail and he has one of those mobility vehicles. And
my cousin got one of these that her spinal cord severed, and they do a lot of hunting outdoor stuff, and it's got like tank tracks.
Oh yeah, and it's
what?
it's got a roll cage in it.
This sounds like something
it's
the
a
Nazis
tank.
invented.
It's
Honestly.
a tank. It's basically a tank.
Apologies, but may I step up to go to the restroom?
Yeah, dude. No sweat.
Continue, and I just gotta-
Yeah,
for sure.
Because my wife will put all the shit on the back of my chair like I'm a pack mule.
Dude, okay, first off, all I can think about is the PTSD. If that deer would have survived, like the PTSD would have been very similar to like U.S. soldiers in World War II. They just hear the tracks coming.
Yeah. Right?
The squeaky wheels that need to be oiled. Just
Have you ever seen the B-rated movie FDR American Badass?
I've not, and I regret this.
So I kid you not, it's starring Barry Boswick, right? Yeah, there it is. There's the poster for it. They put Gatling guns on his wheelchair.
Fuck yes, dude.
He gets polio because he gets bitten by a Nazi werewolf.
That's the Nazi werewolf right here on the left.
Yeah.
That's genius, dude.
That's the Nazi werewolf he gets bit by.
That's genius.
And every time he blows somebody away with like his guns that are on his chair, he's like, fuck polio. And he's like just blasting people. Yeah. Fuck polio.
That's sick.
Somebody told me about
Did
it. and I
FDR
watched
have polio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had polio.
Yeah.
You know, he hid it for years.
Oh, yeah. That's why you always see somebody standing on either side of him
Yeah.
when he was standing up because they were actually holding him up.
Yeah, he had those metal legs.
Like a ventriloquist.
He had those, what do you call them, little things they put on your kneecaps and down to your feet? Like the
Forrest Gump had?
Brace?
Yeah, the braces. He had like the Forrest Gump
had.
braces.
Oh, yeah,
Instead
kinda
of
like,
run, Forrest, you'd be like, run, president.
Yeah, and it comes all the way up. Does it go to your knee?
No.
No.
I have some that did, though.
Yeah.
You know the craziest part, though? If you go to the FDR Memorial in D.C., it's not accessible by wheelchair.
That's so fucked.
That fucked up.
Yeah.
Super
Talking about PTSD, almost like the PTSD I get from whenever my phone vibrates.
Woo!
PTSD. Have you ever had some post-traumatic dick?
Do you want to come back? And we're back. What'd you just say?
PTSD. I was thinking like
Post-traumatic
as a gay
dick.
guy, like post-traumatic dick. You know, I was trying to.
It'd be like PTS double D, post-traumatic stress, or post-traumatic PTSD, post-traumatic stressful dicking down, or down dicking.
I was thinking if you like
Dick down.
PTSD
Yeah, my wife had that
would
once.
be more like I feel like you have this horrifying moment whenever you get near a set of big tits and you kind of were almost smothered to death in them.
Yeah, Like, damn, I was almost not gay. Ah.
That's why my wife never breastfed our kid, because she was afraid she'd smother our child.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I was like, it's okay. Just do it to me. I'm fine.
Yeah. Pass that
Totally
milk on
cool.
over, mama.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Fucking wild things we can talk about. What kind of wild shit? What notes? We were just talking about FDR being crippled and having machine guns on his wheelchair. For everybody that wasn't involved in that.
They put Gatling guns on his chair.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Could talk about DIY jankum recipes, but
What's a jankum?
oh Lord.
What's a jankum? Educate me.
Jankum.
Andy looks very embarrassed immediately. He looked away from me like he did not want to make eye contact. He was like, oh, this is about to get real gay. Hold on.
Dustin's talked about weird shit with me quite often.
You've got to be used to it by now.
Yeah, he'll call and I'll go, what kind of weird
I'll let you
ideas
look
Dustin
up,
has this time?
What's a jankum?
Jankum, Jenkem, and he's googling it right now.
Yeah, jankum. Jankum. What's a jankum?
Oh God.
Jankum. Is this?
It is a DIY way to get high. Apparently, I've heard about this.
I think you spelled recipe wrong. You did. Okay. Wow. This is very not safe for work, apparently.
No.
This looks like you're making an IED in a basement, dude. This is sketchy. There's
It's,
a balloon on a glass bottle.
There's a
Fermenting
YouTube-
sewage to get high. It was just like a science experiment. It was discovered by two kids in high school. I think this
that
was
checks out.
a school science
It
experiment.
sounds like a bowling
Science
pursuit song.
fair.
Two kids in high school, they wanted to get stoned.
Yeah. They were like,
Fecal matter in urine.
Yeah, because
Fermented.
Does this show up on a drug test? I got to go back Tuesday.
yeah, dude. Just make sure that
What
Did
is
you say
in that?
Jerusalem sauce? No, never mind. Jenkum sauce.
jankum sauce. No, what I imagine is happening is they're gathering the methane from the diarrhea that's in that bottle.
Methane and
I'm just
hydrogen
glad there's not an
sulfate.
R
It
in that
causes
word
hypoxia.
anywhere. You know?
Jerkum sauce, you know?
No, thank you.
It displaces oxygen in your brain, and you basically, it's just like if you're huffing paint, but a lot more disgusting.
Oh, erotic asphyxia.
Yeah, but with poop. With
I knew
poop
some
poop.
people that
Yeah,
died from
no,
it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I changed enough diapers in my day. You know what I
We
mean?
were talking about that the other day. Is there anybody famous that has died? There was somebody famous that died from the belt.
Yeah, David Carradine.
Yeah, David Carradine.
Was it David Carradine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They found him in a closet with a belt around his neck, and he wearing a Batman mask.
Yeah, fuck. That's
He said, I'm not Batman.
Not no more.
that is dark.
Gotham will live.
That is dark. Also, shout out
What's
to
crazy is if they took the belt off and like the Dark Knight Rises, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Erotic asphyxiation is a dicey road to go down. I feel like, dude. I don't know.
That reminded
Yeah,
me, there is a story about this guy. I think he's in Chicago. He will pay you to fart on his face.
Do you know this gentleman?
He found him on Craigslist.
It's like donating plasma.
Is this a buddy of yours? Do we need to shout out his OnlyFans page or something?
I don't need him till
cameo?
this Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't need him until Saturday.
$20, man.
Hey, $20 is $20, dude.
Is it Amish fart box dude on Instagram or
I'm
something?
going after Chinese. I'm going to come home with a pocket full of cash.
Yeah, fucking dude, I get it. You know, I fart on somebody's face for $20.
And an ass full of gas, you know?
Yeah, dude, just make it pure protein fart, dude. Just gas.
Yeah,
them out.
that's why I quit going to the gym, man. I was just like,
Just on a little side
That's
note,
why you quit going.
yeah, not because of leg day.
I quit going to the gym because they kicked me out for being in the shower too long. I was waiting for everyone else to get done.
Oh
All
God.
day.
Shoosh.
You can sit in the sauna.
There you go.
Probably see a lot of dick in the sauna.
Yeah, tons of dick. Tons of Sonic. That's my least favorite dick.
Sonic dick.
Sauna dick is my least
Sonic?
favorite dick.
Sonic dick.
Like, is it blue?
Yeah. No, dude, it's all
like a hedgehog dick.
Yeah, the cock ring got stuck.
Like
Bro.
a hedgehog penis?
Or like what's that one lady we had on the Reiki that said the dude got his dick stuck in a Mountain Dew bottle?
Oh, that was her cop buddy that told that story to her, and
We
then
had
she told it to
we had a
us.
dude in high school get his dick stuck in a Perel bottle, shampoo.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
First off, here's my concern: how are you fitting your dick in the hole of a
Dude,
bottle?
have you? Jerry Springer used to
not.
do
That's
the
for
tiny
fun.
dick competition. You ever seen those videos?
Yeah.
Micro penis
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah. All the ladies would be like laughing and screaming at him, like you're trash.
There's a competition to see who's the smallest dick.
So fucking embarrassing.
Well, I would
God
lose.
damn it.
Basically, it'd be like, how do we know it's stuck? Someone goes over. It's like,
Yeah.
It must have been stuck.
I just don't, because the hole on it is like, it's like not even an inch.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you how I know, but you got to put it in soft and then get hard.
Oh, dude.
See, he's honest.
It's
Got
called-
way too much time on his hands.
It's called the 50-50. It's a half the chance to pull it out. You don't know if it's going to come out or not.
I don't like the 50-50 anymore. I wish we didn't talk about this thing.
I wonder if it's like an airflow thing. You had to like squeeze and pull.
no,
Or
it was
suction. Or
the 50-50 with my wife. Is there's a 50-50 shot, and neither one of us is going to be able to walk when this is over. So
I thought you were gonna say come.
that's,
No,
yeah, that's it.
That's the 50-50 rule for me.
Yeah. Hey, it's either on or off, dude.
Right.
We're going to roll the dice.
You're coming or I'm coming. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Usually it's 50-50. One of us is sober before.
I've been there, dude. I've been there. I don't know, dude. I think Comedy Cache 12 success. What do you think?
Yeah, I think.
He had to think about it for a second.
Means I don't have to take off my top. Thank God.
Yeah, but we all still agree titties is titties, though. So
Yeah, I think you have to blur those.
yeah, I think we would.
There's no such thing as a bad breast.
No, there's not. Also, funny, real quick, I saw a reel the other
Well,
day.
that's a turkey punch up, right?
You ever punched a turkey in the tit?
Solid.
No, but
I'm sure you get fired for that.
I'm sure at one point I punched one in the giblets. But
Dude. Ugh. Jeremiah was. Oh, never mind. I'll tell you after the show. I'll tell you after the show because it's incriminating, kind of slightly, not really. God damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I saw a reel the other day. Speaking of titties is titties, I saw a reel the other day of like this male athlete who's like in short shorts. He's on a track and he's obviously just got done running. And he was saying something like, if you're a true athlete, no matter what, you will always be sore. Something is always going to hurt. And this guy is shirtless and talking very, very seriously. But what is unknown by me telling you this story is this man has breasts. Like they look like he's an athlete. He's very cut up, but like he has titties, like voluptuous woman titties. Like they're round. They're not dude, it's, and then if you go to the comment section, it was just horrendous. They just massacre this guy in the comment section. Like his wife finishes on his chest, all kinds of fucking horrible things.
That's hot.
God, it was horrible.
His
But,
wife's a squirter, huh?
yeah, but anyways, that's what I thought of. Titties is titties, folks. Just everybody agree to that.
Were you impressed with him?
No, they were like B cups. They weren't great, but it was just weird how like shaped they were. Oh, one of the comments was, "This is not my proudest wank." Obviously, an English gentleman.
But I started, so I might as well finish. Yeah.
Yeah, there were some really good ones. I wish I would have saved it for this. But anyways, I didn't know we were going to talk about titties. Yeah, that's all I got, man. What do you think?
I think this has been another thrilling comedy cachet. My name is Thomas Grimm.
My name is Brian Michael Day. Gentlemen, outro yourselves.
I've been Andy Imlay.
Hey, Ron Wade.
I've been Dustin Matteson. Oh, we got real quick plug.
Oh, dates.
yeah,
Dates.
dates.
This comes out on the 29th.
29th?
29th of we had a calendar pulled up, and then
Yeah, April
Yeah,
29th.
we're
Yeah.
all going to be together on a show on May 3rd. They're going to be giving away some tickets, leading up to that. So hopefully you guys will be getting those out there. But yeah, over at Stage 2 with Wayne Wisco and Tim Boner Bone.
oh yeah, the boner.
Then May 10th, I'll be over at the big town of Fulda for the Halfway to Rocks Fest.
Shout out to
That's
Fulda.
That's a free event happening that afternoon. There's been a press release out about it. It's a free event. You can come see a band, come see me tell jokes,
Oh, yeah.
and then come see another band.
Let me get the
So,
link to that, and we'll put it in the description if they're for the news press.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, for sure. You got anything, Aaron, coming up, date wise, coming up for you?
Not anything date wise. My wife won't let me date.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
I'm working on a show with Andy Imlay and Dustin at April 25th at the Vincent's Brewery. I do comedy out there once a month.
Okay, this will come out after that, so this will be the 29th. But I hope everybody that showed up had a really good time on the 25th. Oh, yeah. So shout out to you folks, man.
Hey, we'll also be on the same. For all three of us are going to be on.
Where was that show at?
Over in.
No, the 25th show. Where was that?
Vincent's Brewing Company.
Vincent's Brewing Company. So thank you very much, Vincent's Brewing Company, for keeping comedy alive. We appreciate you.
Fun fact, Andy and Dustin's what got me started in comedy. Big shout out to Dustin for getting me on my first guest spot at Petersburg golf course for my very first set. I've been doing comedy for over a year. Everything's been open mics. I've worked with Andy at Newburgh on open mics.
Okay.
And Andy and Dustin got together and said, he busted his butt. He's been trying. I think we should give him a shot. And I never saw my life ending up like this. Never thought I'd ever be on a podcast. And
hey, we're glad to have you, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Seriously.
I hope you had fun. I felt like I was pretty quiet for the most part.
No, the one-liners